I repeat, please take your seats. We need the central area to be vacant for safety purposes. Thank you. Tata Motors deeply mourns the sudden passing away of our former chairman Sri Cyrus Mistry. Let us observe a minute of silence in his memory. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats. The event is about to begin. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats. And before we begin the proceedings for today, we have a safety announcement.
A very good morning to ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all on behalf of Geo World Center. In the event of any emergency, please do not panic. Our emergency response team is deployed and they will guide all of you to safety. We have emergency exits located behind the stage, behind the seating arrangements to my left as well as to my right. So I request you all again not to panic in the event of any emergency. We are there to help each and every one. Thank you very much and have a good show.
Tata Trucks is synonymous with the nation's growth. For the last 7 decades, we have been building India on our wheels, driving the nation's economy forward, being an integral part of the logistics sector. As the industry leader, we have been introducing state-of-the-art technologies for the benefit of all stakeholders, and today, we will raise the bar further. To kick off the exhilarating launch, let us have a look at our new campaign that tells some wonderful stories on our theme, Tata Trucks, Desh ke Trucks.
लास्ट क्वार्टर की रिपोर्ट्स कहाँ हैं?
ये यहाँ इसके नीचे
सर ट्रक लोड हो गया है, हम लेके निकल रहे हैं सर।
ट्रक बाईपास से लेकर जाना।
हो जाएगा सर।
पेपर्स रख लेना।
हो जाएगा सर।
कल माल 6 बजे से पहले पहुंचना चाहिए।
हो जाएगा सर।
गाजर का हलवा रास्ते में खा लेना।
हो जाएगा सर। गाजर का हलवा
हो जाएगा ना?
हो ही जाएगा सर।
आपकी ही तरह हमें भी ड्राइवर कंफर्ट का पूरा ख्याल है, इसलिए टाटा ट्रक्स लाए हैं एसी कैबिन्स, टेलीस्कोपिक स्टीयरिंग, मैकेनिकली सस्पेंडेड सीट्स और स्लीपर बर्थ्स। अब ड्राइवर प्रोडक्टिविटी होगी और भी ज्यादा। टाटा ट्रक्स, देश के ट्रक्स।
ओके, या आई एम एब्सोल्युटली श्योर। 17 को सारे ट्रक्स लोड हो जाएंगे, 18 को पहुंच जाएंगे।
सर
डोंट वरी, सेम रेट्स। ओके, डन, बाय। आपने कैसे एग्री कर लिया? आपको पता है उस रूट की सारी सड़कें खराब हैं, घाट ही घाट हैं, खड्डे खड्डे हैं, ऐसे उड़ के थोड़ी चल जाएंगे। और माइलेज वो कहां से आएगा? माइलेज तो ही नहीं। उस रूट पर आज तक कभी प्रॉफिट नहीं मिला है, ये रिकॉर्ड है। सर शर्मा जी, आप बीता हुआ कल देख रहे हैं और मैं आने वाले कल की कहानी लिख रहा हूं।
टाटा ट्रक्स लाए हैं मल्टी मोड फ्यूल इकोनॉमी स्विच, गियर शिफ्ट एडवाइजर और टायर प्रेशर मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम जैसे कई माइलेज बढ़ाने वाले फीचर्स। अब प्रॉफिट होगा और भी ज्यादा। टाटा ट्रक्स, देश के ट्रक्स।
कहाँ रुके चैंपियन?
सर इधर ढाबे पे खाने के लिए।
एक काम कर, 20 किलोमीटर आगे चल, नाके पर एक अच्छा ढाबा है, बढ़िया खाना है।
ठीक है सर।
और सुन, ट्रक 50 और 60 के बीच में चला।
ठीक है सर।
और सुन, गाड़ी खड़ी है तो इंजन और लाइट्स बंद करना यार।
जी सर।
और सुन, आगे वाले ढाबे का पायसम बहुत फेमस है, खाना जरूर।
ठीक है सर।
टाटा ट्रक्स लाए हैं फ्लीट एज, जहां आप अपनी ऐप में ट्रक की पोजीशन, उसका मूवमेंट, ड्राइविंग बिहेवियर और फ्यूल एफिशिएंसी भी ट्रैक कर सकते हैं। अब बिजनेस होगा हाई टेक। टाटा ट्रक्स, देश के ट्रक्स।
जो प्रॉमिस किया है वही डिलीवर करेंगे। छोटे छोटे कॉम्प्रोमाइजेस से बड़े बिजनेस नहीं बना करते, और मेरी कंपनी में क्वालिटी इज एवरीथिंग। ओके
सर, ये ट्रक लोड हो गए हैं, बस निकल रहे हैं।
टाइम पे निकलवा देना सारे ट्रक्स।
जी सर।
रोको रोको।
आपके ट्रक्स आपकी जान है, आपकी शान है। इसलिए टाटा ट्रक्स लाए हैं संपूर्ण सेवा। आपके ट्रक्स के मेंटेनेंस, ब्रेकडाउन और जेन्युइन पार्ट्स की जिम्मेदारी हम लेते हैं। अब बिजनेस होगा टेंशन फ्री। टाटा ट्रक्स, देश के ट्रक्स।
ड्राइवर साहब की आंखों पे नजर रखना हमारा काम है, हमारी ड्यूटी है। जैसे ही ड्राइवर साहब को नींद आएगी,
अकबर,
और अगर दोबारा नींद आई तो
पागल क्या?
पर कुछ भी हो जाए, ड्राइवर साहब को नींद नहीं।
टाटा ट्रक्स लाए हैं ड्राइवर मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम। ड्राइवर की जरा सी भी आंख लगने पर अलार्म बजकर उसे जगा देता है, ताकि आपका ट्रक हमेशा सेफ रहे। अब सेफ्टी होगी और भी ज्यादा। टाटा ट्रक्स, देश के ट्रक्स।
I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed making it. Without much ado, let me now invite Mr. Girish Wagh, Executive Director, Tata Motors Limited, to please come and share his views on the new vision, mission, and range of Tata Motors.
Good morning to all the distinguished guests. I am delighted to have you with us today. For over 7 decades, Tata Motors, the pioneer of the Indian commercial vehicle industry, has enabled nation building with world-class products and technological solutions. This is why we are proud to be Desh Ke Trucks. As a true industry leader, we have been delivering progress to the nation's trucking and logistics industry. Our constant endeavor is to create a meaningful impact in the lives of all stakeholders, be it drivers, transporters, and the shippers. This progress is across the entire spectrum of economic activity. Wherever value is being created in road transportation, Tata Motors is making a real contribution. Exactly 4 months ago, we redefined last mile transportation with the launch of Ace EV here itself. Today marks another milestone where we take our portfolio to the next level with a mega launch of several new products and technology-enabled features across our entire range of trucks. This launch is centered around 4 themes. The first one is supporting nation's infrastructure growth. The second one is continuous improvement in fuel efficiency. The third one is expanding the range of alternate fuel trucks. And the fourth one is safety. Each of these vehicles have been thoughtfully designed and developed to serve the real needs of Indian logistics industry. Tata Motors leads the industry with deep consumer and market understanding, which, combined with our engineering capabilities, enables us to deliver best-in-class products. In a while, we will witness the introduction of new tippers that will further drive infrastructure growth in urban clusters as well as remote and mountainous regions. We are also launching our new fuel-efficient range of trucks with introduction of advanced powertrains and supporting features. Tata Motors has the largest portfolio of CNG vehicles, which will be strengthened further with the launch of new range of industry-first CNG-powered MNSCVs, thereby delivering profitable and sustainable logistics. This will be followed by introduction of new cabins and advanced safety features, which will enable improved driver productivity and safer man and material transportation. With the country's first collision mitigation system in the Prima, Tata Motors is renewing its commitment to safer Indian roads. The upgraded Prima and Signa platforms will help in enhancing comfort for drivers, thereby ensuring fatigue-free long-haul transport. For us at Tata Motors, customer centricity is about advancements where a win-win for our customers and shippers is the starting point. Beyond the products, I would like to emphasize how we deliver the unique Tata Motors advantage. Firstly, through the next-gen telematics solution Fleet Edge for optimal fleet management, which is offered on our entire range of trucks. And secondly, through Sampurna Seva, which is our bouquet of value-added services that includes industry-first offerings, uptime assurance, and fuel efficiency management program. Over the next 1 hour, we have curated a program showcasing these advancements and new products meant to serve the customers better. I'm confident you will enjoy the meaningful exhibition. I look forward to engaging with you after this presentation. Thank you, and let's begin.
Thank you, sir. Today, the launch of our new trucks will be a further testament to our constant endeavor of delivering progress to not only our customers, but to the nation as a whole. Let's have a look at a video that elaborates on how Tata Motors is delivering progress.
We at Tata Motors are on a constant endeavor to redefine the future of logistics by introducing products that deliver best-in-class operating economics, superior comfort and convenience, and enhanced connectivity. With more than 6.5 lakh Tata Motors BS6 vehicles running on Indian roads, we have already taken a huge stride in serving the needs of our customers, thereby delivering progress through the promise of Power of Six.
Progress delivered through fuel-efficient and high-performance powertrains. Progress is a sign of good business sense in the long run with low total cost of ownership. Progress is a reflection of driver comfort and convenience, leading to higher productivity. Progress is about the power to choose from the widest choice of trucks to suit every business need.
Progress is when you're connected with your business 24/7, anytime, anywhere.
Progress is when you operate your business with total peace of mind.
Progress driven by our iconic brands every day, everywhere.
Accentuating our commitment towards the progress of New India, we are committed to constantly innovating and serving the evolving needs of the logistics sector in the country. India is witnessing a shift towards greener alternate fuels and increasing need for road safety. We are committed to serving these evolving needs through modern trucks powered with alternate fuels, as also equipped with advanced safety features. These new trucks will help us redefine transportation by delivering progress to our customers, drivers, end consumers, and the nation as a whole. We are proud to further strengthen our unmatched portfolio of Desh Ke trucks with these vehicles.
At Tata Motors, we are committed to India's progress. Progress that leads to building of a better tomorrow. A future where all not only benefit from it, but contribute to it as well. Advancement demands that everyone works towards a common goal and is equipped with the correct tools for progress. And this is where Tata Motors comes in. When it comes to advancement in infrastructure, our tippers are designed to do just that. Before we begin, let's take a look at the Building India story of Tata Motors.
The biggest developments in progress require big thinking in the smallest areas. Lately, monumental efforts are being made to build India. From growing the economy to creating new infrastructure that enables progress not just in urban India, but also in the remotest corners of rural India. Tata Motors is committed to delivering progress that is building dreams. By building connectivity, building a new future that is ultimately building India.
Today, we have reached all corners of India to bring together a diverse group of gifted percussionists, each representing India's 4 regions across geographies, where our trucks are delivering progress, presenting a celebration of the spirit of India and our cultural diversity as we introduce new additions to our ILCV tipper range. Taking the stage now are the new tippers by Tata Motors, which are designed to take development and progress to the remotest parts of the country with increased fuel efficiency and productivity. Here's a closer look at the tipper series. While these trucks are catalysts in India's development, Tata Motors has taken up another key challenge called sustainable logistics. Fuel plays an important role with it directly, affecting the profitability of our partners. Fuel expenses contribute up to 55% of total operating cost in logistics. The next trucks in our lineup demonstrate our focus to make logistics business more profitable and sustainable. With optimized driveline designs, value-added features, and alternate fuel drivelines, we are reinforcing our commitment to make our partners' businesses more profitable with the promise of a progressive tomorrow. Presenting with great pride The all-new Ultra T16CX with 3.3-liter reliable and fuel-efficient diesel engine and a safe and comfortable Ultra cabin. This truck surely drives you more kilometer per liter, more kilometer per day. Let's take a look at the Ultra T16CX with a keener view. Introducing the all-new fuel-efficient FE series with multiple value-added features. And now for a more detailed look into the FE series, let's take a look at our curated product video. As we scale new heights with these launches, our journeys of elevation, let us now look up to a higher performance in the truest sense of both words. Introducing our aerial drummers as the next class act of the day. Presenting the new additions in the alternate fuel truck range, the all-new Tata Signa 1918 CNG and the Tata Signa 2018 CNG, India's first MHCV trucks with a 5.7-liter CNG engine. Developed on a modular platform, these trucks come in multiple deck lengths, offering a range of up to 1,000 kilometers per fill. Also present in the middle is the T12G Ultra, the first CNG truck with a safe and comfortable Ultra cabin. Adding to our CNG truck portfolio, we're also introducing two new variants to meet the logistics requirement of voluminous goods. LPT 709G XT with a 17 feet deck length, the longest in this segment. LPT 1512G, 24 feet non-sleeper with a range of 700 plus kilometers per CNG fill. While we have aimed to solve the sustainable logistics challenge, another one added to the list is to maximize driver productivity to ensure higher asset utilization for a truck. With businesses growing and customer expectations for on-time deliveries increasing continuously, agility is becoming the key differentiator. Faster and on-time deliveries mean more incentives, more credibility, and new contracts. It means covering more distance every day. It's about getting more out of your trucks without compromising the safety of the driver or material. We at Tata Motors are continuously innovating to ensure the safety and comfort of our partners because we believe we are answerable to the faith of our customers that they have put in us. And when you believe in something, you can take the leap of faith. Before we unveil the new face of Indian trucking, witness the finale performance which showcases in true sense belief, trust, and faith.
Be televised.
Show me my respect and bow down. We own ya, we own ya. We getting started now, cause we own ya. Decided living on ya, cause we own ya. You and I'm a homie, yeah, cause we own ya.
The revolution will be live.
Tata Motors presents the new Signa cabins, the value range with new feature additions to deliver higher productivity of the driver. And now, the new Primer with a premium tough design, the epitome of performance and productivity. With a new face and host of features to deliver progress and profitability to the business. Let's now explore their key features and attributes. We now invite Mr. Sudeep Bhalla on stage and request him to proceed with the question and answer segment along with the contribution of the media and audience members.
Hello. Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure this very high energy performance and the launch must have got your adrenaline pumping, pulse racing, and the mind buzzing. With lots of ideas, thoughts, questions, comments. Unfortunately, we won't have time to address all of them, but since we have a lot of media friends who have joined us both virtually as in person at the venue, we will have a 15-minute opportunity for some Q&A. For friends who have joined us virtually, you will see a Q&A tab on your screens. Please type in your question into that. Do also share your name and the media house that you represent. For friends who are in the house today, in person present at this venue, you will see a link which is flashing in the screen in front of you, and you will please log on to that to share your questions. Can we have the link? Yeah, thank you so much. That's the link you need to log on to for members who are in the audience here. To answer the questions, I'm going to invite Mr. Girish Wagh, Executive Director, Tata Motors, and Mr. Rajendra Petkar, President and Chief Technology Officer of Tata Motors, to join me on the stage. I would request all of you to put in one question at a time so that we have participation from the maximum numbers possible. And also we'll try and cover as many diverse topics as possible regarding the events of today, such that we have a more holistic picture. So do start sending in your questions as I take my seat and we begin the Q&A right away. Thank you so much. Some problem with this. In the question and answers, I see a stream of questions that have already come in, and we will begin right in the earnest. Girish, first question for you. Congratulations on introducing CNG and MHCV. What are the other alternate fuel powertrains that you are working on? And is hydrogen as a fuel a practical option? So I think both you and Rajendra will have a say on this one.
Thank you, Sudeep. Thanks for the question. So I think if you look at the progress that the country is moving towards, it is quite evident that we have to move towards zero-emission vehicles even in commercial vehicle industry. But if you look at all the inputs that we've been receiving, it is quite evident that this journey towards zero emission is actually going to happen through gaseous fuels, that is compressed natural gas CNG and later even liquefied natural gas, that is LNG. So we've seen today, we've already launched the industry first medium and heavy commercial vehicle with CNG as a fuel. We will also continue to work on LNG as a fuel as we go ahead. So we will continue to expand our range in the gaseous fuels. So that is the first thing. I think second thing I would like to say that as we move towards zero emission vehicles, hydrogen is indeed coming up as an interesting possibility. And there are two types of options there. One is a fuel cell usage of hydrogen, and second is using hydrogen in internal combustion engine. And I would request Rajendra to throw some light on this usage of hydrogen in commercial vehicles. Rajendra?
Yeah, thank you, Girish. So I think the question about what next to the CNG, Girish has answered it. I would like to add a couple of bits there. Of course, the LNG is a natural logical extension of a CNG. But we are also looking at the usage of the bio-CNG. And from Tata Motors side, we have taken a lead, and our engines are compliant to the bio-CNG. Secondly, if we look at the other forms of the alternate fuel, especially for the small commercial vehicles where we use the gasoline, then we also have the play with the ethanol blend. And Government of India has mandated usage of 20% ethanol into the gasoline. So that is something which we will be ready by the time such an implementation is required from 1st of April 2023. Coming to the topic of the hydrogen is an important part of achieving the net zero. And there are a number of ways in which the hydrogen can be used for the vehicular application. Number one, the hydrogen can be blended with the CNG, what we call it as a HCNG, where the blend up to 18% is already permitted. But of course, today, the hydrogen supply being inadequate, it's not yet materialized in terms of the availability at the retail outlet. The second one is the burning of the hydrogen into the IC engine, what is called as the H2 ICE. And that is the technology which is currently in the development stage and would take some time, but surely it's going to be an important stepping stone towards achieving the net zero ambitions. And the third and very important one, and which is more applicable for the medium and the heavy commercial vehicle and also for the urban buses, is about the fuel cell technology. And here again, from Tata Motors side, we have been the pioneer. we showcased the country's first fuel cell bus many years back, and we are currently working on to execute the contract or the tender for delivery of buses as far as the Delhi and the other regions are concerned. So these are the emerging scenarios, I would say, beyond the CNG in terms of a transition towards the clean and the ultra-low emissions.
Thank you so much. The next question, Girish, to you. How do you see the balance of FY23 panning out? Is the recovery and growth in demand for CVs on expected lines?
So after 2 years of downturn, if I may say so, in the CV industry, I think the last financial year saw a growth of around 22% in volumes over the previous year. So the commercial vehicle industry seems to be in the upcycle now. And if you look at various indicators, whether it is the fleet utilizations or the freight rates, or even the transporters confidence index, which we track every quarter, I think all of these seem to be doing pretty well. In terms of government spending on infrastructure, I think that seems to be at a pretty high level with a lot of commitment towards new projects, which is leading to good demand for tippers as well as trucks. As far as consumption is concerned, I think that also continues to be at a pretty decent level, which is leading to good demand for ILCVs and the small commercial vehicles. As far as buses, the passenger segment is concerned, we had a pretty low FY20 and FY21. And towards the end of FY22, that is the Q4, we saw good demand coming in from school buses as well as employee transportation, which is a good beginning. And that good beginning has also flown into Q1 of this year with the travel segment also getting added to it. So overall, we see all the segments, whether medium and heavies, intermediate and light, the small commercial vehicles, and even passenger, doing pretty well. And therefore, I'm quite optimistic that the CV industry should do well during this year.
Thank you, Girish. Next question again is on the introduction of ADAS. So maybe both of you can opine on that. ADAS in trucks will help make Indian roads safer. What kind of industries and customers' demand do you foresee being the early adopters? That's the first part. And the second part is, what other features are you planning to introduce progressively?
Yeah, so I think ADAS, what we know of is like advanced drive assist system. And there are two parts of the safety. One is the passive safety, other one is the active safety. So ADAS comes into the category of the active safety, where actually it helps to prevent and provide the alert at the time when the accident or the hazardous condition is expected to be encountered by the vehicle. Now ADAS, as far as the commercial vehicles are concerned, Tata Motor is the first one with this introduction of number of features on the 55-ton Prima. And as we have seen in the video, there are many of the features which are like collision mitigation or the driver monitoring system, or something which is like lane departure warning, blind spot detection. There are many features which actually are the part of the ADAS. And the list that comes as an ADAS actually is the growing list, I would say the ever-growing list. And finally, you reach a stage of a complete autonomous driving. So I would say, as a country, we are at an early stage, but of course, we have taken a lead. We have now introduced a few features. Progressively, we will be adding many more features as a part of our level 2 and level 3 kind of autonomy. It will go a long way in terms of the safety, and especially for the commercial vehicle operator. It is not just the driver, it's the driver plus the passenger plus the safety of the goods, and especially for the hazardous goods. I think that's where this technology comes handy in terms of providing a safe mode of transportation as far as the ecosystem is concerned.
So just to add, Sudeep, while Rajendra has explained what is ADAS for commercial vehicles, I firmly believe that the adaptation and deployment of that is going to be very unique for India. Today, driver is a major source of employment in the country, and therefore, in Tata Motors, our focus is not going to be to move towards completely autonomous, but actually help the drivers improve the productivity.
And secondly, within our country, any feature in the commercial vehicle makes sense, provided it leads to improved profitability. So either reducing the total cost of operations or improving the revenue through better uptime. And therefore, all the ADAS features that we spoke about today, whether it is collision mitigation system or lane departure warning or driver monitoring system for that matter, have been adapted very smartly by our engineers to ensure that finally it leads to higher uptime for the customers. And this therefore will lead to better revenue. In addition to that, today we've also launched the 2 new cabins, upgraded cabins, Prima and Signa, which will also have very high level of comfort for the drivers, which will therefore increase the number of hours of fatigue-free driving and therefore increase the distance that can be traveled. So finally, I think we are deploying ADAS, that is safety as well as comfort, for reasons in addition to what Rajendra mentioned, is also about increasing the profitability for the customers.
Thank you so much. The next question is more on the sustainability agenda for the business. And that is, you have set a target of net zero carbon emission by 2045. What actions are you taking to achieve this? And what is the anticipated size of the green trucking industry by 2030?
I think this is a most relevant and important question, if I may say so, in the current circumstances. So at Tata Motors Commercial Vehicles, we have done a complete baselining of our emission profile, CO2 equivalent emission profile as we call, because more than carbon dioxide, there are a few other gases which also harm the environment. So we have done that baselining, and we are looking at emissions across the value chain. So what we call as the scope 1, which is all the fuel or energy that we burn within our operations. The second is scope 2, which is the energy consumption for the electricity that we purchase from outside. And scope 3 consists of all the rest, which includes essentially the emissions from the vehicles which are on our road or which are in the park and are being used. You can imagine that in our case, the scope 3, which includes the emission of vehicles, is the highest, and in fact it is bulk of our emission profile. And therefore, the actions that we have taken will address all 3, with priority being given to scope 3. Now, the actions which will lead to reduction in scope 3 emissions is essentially moving towards zero emission vehicles. And we've already done the beginning in the passenger vehicle transportation. We already initiated into small commercial vehicles with the last mile cargo distribution with ACE EV. And this journey will continue for all the closed loop applications which are more amenable for electrification. For rest of the applications, as we said, we are looking at natural gas as the fuel, which reduces the emission profile in the immediate term. And Rajendra also spoke about the other options that we are evaluating, which is hydrogen, either in internal combustion engine or even in fuel cells. So this is the roadmap that we have laid out for the scope 3 emissions. In terms of scope 1 and scope 2, there's a lot of work which is being done, essentially underlining use of renewable energy in our operations as also what we are purchasing from outside. So I think a detailed plan has been laid out to ensure that we move towards net zero by 2045. Of course, to add, apart from the actions that we take within our operations, there's a lot of work which needs to be done in the ecosystem to ensure the zero emission vehicles are adapted and get introduced in the market smoothly. So you would have seen in buses or even in ACE, I think through our One Tata approach, as also the ecosystem focused approach, we are working on a larger scale to ensure the adaptation and implementation of the electric vehicles starts happening smoothly. So to your last question, Sudeep, what could be the penetration by 2030 of zero emission vehicles? I'm quite convinced that it will be in a double-digit % penetration.
Well, that's very heartening to hear. I know we are running out of time, but I'll take this one last question. It's about, we've been talking about Deshke trucks, but Tata Motors has a very strong international presence. Do you foresee taking this portfolio to the international markets as well? And if so, then to what countries?
Right. So, as I've been mentioning in some of our earlier interactions, we have implemented modularity in our product range. And therefore, whatever we implement in the leading markets, for example, the features introduced today are for India. These will certainly get into some of our international markets. So if you take, for example, the ADAS features will get into, for example, South African market, followed by the Sub-Saharan Africa. If you look at the natural gas is something which will get absorbed in the SAARC region pretty well. And we also have Middle East, which can take some of the comfortable cabins that we launched, considering the environment in which the trucks operate there. So absolutely, I think what we've introduced today will get into the international markets which we play in and which we have decided to do well and have a good market share. So these features will enter into our international markets.
Thank you so much, Girish. Look forward to that, and that's what folks will have to wrap up the Q&A session. Thank you so much for your interesting questions and the candid responses. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to all our esteemed speakers. Thank you so much, gentlemen. The range of trucks launched today are an answer to what our partners need, from higher payloads to increased profitability to sustainable logistics that reduces the total cost of ownership to safer cabins, new safety standards, and wider choices to serve every need. Tata Motors aims to create a zero-worries experience with multiple benefits for all our drivers, partners, and customers, so that all they need to do is focus on achieving more in their business while we take care of everything else.
So we are new generation logistics player, and we have our own expectations. In terms of technology, we want to be advanced, we want to meet the world standards. Today we understand the need of logistics, we understand what logistics is going to be in the future. Fuel contribute almost 55% to 60%, which is a very high cost. I wonder why we don't get the fuel efficient trucks from the companies.
Existing CNG trucks has limitations. You can say that in terms of distance covered, as we don't have so much CNG stations all around. But we need CNG trucks which can go around up to 700 to 800 kilometers minimum. If we can achieve this thing, then certainly yes, this will help us.
So I would request Tata Motors to take care of the safety aspects, the goods in our trucks as well as the safety of our drivers is highly important to us.
Presenting the latest range of trucks launched together, delivering progress. Ladies and gentlemen, with utmost pleasure, we are now opening the display zone for all to take a closer look at the models launched today. However, first up, we request our photographer fraternity to head to the display zone for the photo opportunities. Rest of our guests can follow to the display zone after 2 minutes. Lunch is now served. Please help yourself to food and refreshments in the pre-function area.